Okay, this is video number 3 in the series Scholarship Secrets. And in this video, I wanted to take the time to discuss with you some myths that exist in the scholarship world. And it's important that I explain this to you because a lot of people are of the opinion that when people are talking about scholarships, there are a number of other things that surrounds this topic, and some are total scam, and some are things that you would fall for, and some of them are just misinformation. Now, in this video, I wanted to break down for you the importance of scholarships. I wanted to break down for you some of the things that you would need to understand and also the importance of influence. So, the overview of this video primarily we'll review the power of influence, I'll identify the 5 myths, and then I'll offer you a chance to get some free resources. Okay, now let me start off by telling you that the people who measure the scholarship application, the gatekeepers as we call them, are often the people who determines whether or not you as an individual get a scholarship. Gatekeepers are always the people who screen every application that comes through the door. And their job is to put your scholarship against a checklist or against the eligibility requirements and to ensure that the people who get past the first round or who get past the gate are people who follow as closely to the letter as possible. Secondly, gatekeepers also are people who look for unique things and they're knowing exactly what they look for. Why? Because 70% of all of the scholarship applications come from people who do not qualify. 10% of the qualified applications are incomplete, and 10% of the qualified applications are late. So, right there, as you have it, 90% of the people who make applications for a particular scholarship would be eliminated. Now, of that remaining 10%, 5% of those qualified people would have submitted plain, non influential applications. And the remaining 5% are the ones that make it to the scholarship judges. Now, that's tough. Now, imagine 1,000 people submitting their applications. And after whittling it down, only 50 applications get to the scholarship committee and the judges have to go through. Now, the average scholarship judge takes 60 seconds to review a scholarship application. Within the 50 seconds, they're 50 to 60 seconds, they're going to tell you if your scholarship application is going forward or if it's thrown in the trash. Now, imagine the amount of trial and error you would have made if you do not know this information. And I'm very big on stats because sometimes statistics are some of the things that guide our life and they help us to craft what we need to do better. When I started researching scholarship, when I first came to the United States, I was told that I can get scholarship, and I went out researching and I said to myself, I don't qualify for any of these scholarships because most of the scholarship application you would see in some of the big, the big Peterson books and some of the other big thick books are primarily for people who have high GPA, take some of the high end programs, entered some of the unique programs, etc. And there are not a lot of merit scholarships that are listed there. But also, I wanted to help you to realize that you don't have to be a high achiever to enter to win scholarships. And that's what takes us to the first set of myth. Myth number one: only students with high academic achievement win merit scholarships. That's untrue. There are many organizations that never make grade a qualifying mark in their application. They would ask that you would have certain talents. They might ask that you reach certain benchmarks. They might ask that you be a part of certain affiliation or you demonstrate certain skill sets. The grade number is sometimes a factor if they say you must have a minimum of a C average. That means that they're not giving it to any and everybody, but they're wanting to see somebody who has college potential, not necessarily excellence. When I was growing up in Guyana, South America, I was told plain scholarships is primarily for people who were outstanding. So I remember people like Mark Arthur, a young man from the housing scheme in Linden, where I grew up, who was outstanding at his CXC and GC. And Mark went on scholarships. I also remember Bruce Butcher, another outstanding athlete who was also given scholarships to go abroad and study. And why I'm saying this to you is because I wanted you to realize that number three, scholarships promote diversity and talent among organizations. So most of the time, a college or a school would want to create a diversity program, and they might offer a few scholarships on that basis, and organizations also do the same thing. Myth number two, star athletes are the only ones who receive big scholarships. That's a myth. Merit scholarships almost never focus on your sports or athletic ability. Never. Athletic skills is just one factor. If you are building an application or you're building a profile and you wanted to show, I was a part of a track team, I show leadership potential by being the track star or by being the captain of the football squad or the track and field team, etc. You just use that as an item of profiling. Number three, there is a distinct difference between an athletic scholarship and a merit scholarship. Myth number three, scholarship applicants should seek to compile the longest list of extracurricular activities. Nothing further from the truth. If you're showing your application that you have all of these skills and talent, years ago, I remember when I first was writing my CV or resume, I had a 6 page resume. And I went in to listen each and every talent or each and every class or each and every certificate I would have had. And one time I remember talking to a young lady and she said to me, "Nobody would read this." I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "It's not focus." And I said that to say this. If your if your application or your profile, it's just a long list of items that I can do. I can jump, I can run track and field, I can swim, I can play golf, I can sing, I can swim, I can paddle, I can ski, and you just go on listing and listing. I debated. I can lead out in the choir. I can play the violin. I play the trumpet. I play the harp. I play the flute. And you go on listing a series of things. Your application will not be strong. It will be totally unfocused. It would show that you have no strength zone or no strong skill set. When building an application, you focus on one or two key skills, not a long list of extracurricular activities, but a few key areas, and then you build your profile around that to position yourself with a measure of authority, confidence, and skills. There's absolutely no benefit in a long list. Number four, the track record you've already accumulated determines whether you win scholarships. I'm going to be the first to tell you that's not true. Let me tell you my high school track record. I got kicked out of Mackenzie High School in Form 4. I got in trouble. I ran away a couple times from home. I graduated from high school 2 years late. I graduated from Multi, which is another high school. I attended a technical institute for 3 days. Does that sound like a stellar, outstanding resume? No, it doesn't. But what I've learned to do through the years and after receiving the training is how to position myself and to profile myself properly. So I take those negative experiences that life gave me or that I endured and I learn how to craft a positive presentation of it. And I use that in my positioning. The things you noted in your application should show both depth of knowledge and breadth of expertise. So you identify a few key areas that you can elaborate on or that you can build a winning application out of. And then the next thing I wanted you to do is to realize that strong application shows your talents and your skills. Myth number 4. Myth number 4. Your track record you've already accumulated determines whether you'll win scholarships. Nothing farthest from the truth. Let me give you my resume in high school. In fourth form, I got kicked out of Mackenzie High. I attended Linen Technical Institute for 3 days, and then I got a second chance at high school. I went to Multi. I graduated two years late. Now, no part of that sounds like a stellar student. No part of that sounds like a stellar athlete. No part of that sounds like an academic star. But I've learned how to profile myself and to identify areas that I have strengths, position those things, and show my depth of knowledge and my breadth of expertise. So that's what you needed to learn. How to develop and show in your application depth of knowledge and breadth of expertise. Building a strong application that shows your talent and skills in a particular area is strong enough when it's positioned with a measure of passion and with some level of consistency. And I learned how to use that. And that's what helped me significantly build and to position myself better. Number 5, students should focus their time and their energy on one or two scholarship applications. I'm going to tell you straight up. The rule in winning scholarships, it's a numbers game. The more scholarships you apply to, the better your chances at winning. The better is the structure of your application, and the more and more you practice. They say repetition is the mother of any skill. The more and more you practice writing your profile and positioning yourself and packaging yourself, the better it is for you to increase your chances at winning. When you set yourself up with only a few options, anything can go wrong. And anything that can go wrong can affect your chances of succeeding at one or two application choices. When I made my first set of application, I did a little over 60 applications. I They were like cookie cutter. I looked at a number of applications that all had deadlines, that all were for international students, that all were for people wanting to study in the United States, and I went out sending a series of applications. No time and effort went into me developing and pitching myself individually to the different institutions. In that way, I was setting myself up for failure. But after I finished the program that I did, and I then learned how to position myself, I made a little over 20 applications. And out of those 20 applications, I won a little over $5,000. Why am I saying that? Because the more you understand the importance of positioning, packaging, profiling, and marketing, it, the more you are able to succinctly put together a quality application that stands out, that positions you, and that gives you the winning edge in winning scholarships. Now, the next steps in this program is for you to go ahead and take the worksheet that we've created and work on positioning yourself, developing a distinct message, and a clear purpose. First, you need to learn how to communicate yourself with the right position. Then, you highlight your talents and follow the right steps. Third, you need to learn how to emphasize your potential. And you do that by using the right guide. In this training program, it's accompanied by a worksheet, and you would go right away and take time and follow those activities and build for yourself a strong enough position point, a clear enough message, and a distinct purpose that can help you to position yourself better. We also would provide you two free reports with this class, and at the end of it, I wanted you all to know that there's a list of 10 scholarships you can go ahead and make application for. And if you wanted an extended list, we also provide you with information on that. Until next time, this is Nigel saying, have a great day.